Alright, hey buddy, what's going on? So this is the video that hopefully will work tonight. My phone was acting up yesterday. So anyways, just real quick, starting off, this is the kind of stuff that I'm using for this modified force fetch. Hey, give me that. Thank you. Alright, I got my little clicker here. Alright, if you've never used one of these before, I got this one at PetSmart. They actually just gave it to me. If they won't give it to you, it'll just cost a couple of bucks. But anyways, you watch him real quick. As soon as he hears this, you saw his ears perk up. He knows what that is. As soon as he hears that, he knows it's called click and treat, or CNT. So I've been using it with him now for doing all of my training, and it works really well. So do that about 5 or 10 times, and then just get Quinn used to, once he hears that, he knows what's coming next. So that way, when he does the right thing, you don't have to worry about saying, "Oh, good boy, good boy, good boy." It's an instantaneous. As soon as he hears that click, he knows he did it right. All right. Then I've also got an old Rem oil bottle that's empty, and an old all-purpose cleaner bottle. And all I did with them is I just wrapped some duct tape around them just to give a better grip so they're not so slippery. I've got an actual force fetch dummy that I bought from Hardcore. They had them on clearance for like $3. You can get one for about 5 or 10 bucks. And then a tennis ball. So other than that, the only other thing I use is my little table here. I just tossed a piece of carpet up on it so it can elevate him. Some guys do it on the bed of their truck, but I just chose to do everything inside. And then the only other thing is sometimes you may need a restraint system. So what I did is I got this little hook, and all I did is just hooked it up to the rope here. And what I'll do is I'll run it from my gun case all the way over to the door, and then I'll usually put the table like right here if I need to do it. But anyways, so I'll just kind of show you what I did with Gage and where we've come from to where we're at now. So one of the biggest pieces of advice that I could give you is, I know you got Waylon running around, either put him up, like actually in a kennel, or take Quinn to a room where it's completely quiet, that you can do this, so that way he's concentrating 100% on you and he doesn't have distractions. So anyways, we'll get going on this, and I'll show you kind of what I did with Gage. Hey Gage, hey, kennel, good boy, sit, good boy. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is get the dog used to having something in his mouth at all times. So the way you're going to do that is, hey, come here, come on, good boy. Yeah, he's tired, he already ate. But anyways, all you're going to do is get the dog used to having something in your mouth. So what you're going to do, you may want a leather glove for this one. What you're going to do is you're going to pry his mouth open, and you're going to stick your hand in about as far as you can go. Okay. Now you'll notice with him, I'm not gripping. I just got kind of a firm hold, real easy hold, and it's just getting him used to having something in his mouth, not on his terms. So all I'm doing is I'm putting it in there, and he may squirm. All right. You may need to do this with Quinn and have him on some type of restraint. I never had to do it. No, hold. Good. And that's all you're doing. If he squirms, just hold and do not let go until he calms down. Once he calms down, good boy. Let him up. Good boy. And then once he does that, just give him a little treat. I don't need to really worry about the click thing right here just because I'm right here. And then as soon as you get done, right back in. Hold. Good boy. That right there may take you 2 or 3 days, 4 days, depending upon how well he does with it. What I did is, I believe minimum time to do this is twice a day, but when you do this, it only takes 4 to 5 minutes each session. Optimal is 3 to 4 times a day. I know with your work schedule you may not be able to do that, so at least twice a day. You know, you can do it for a quick 5 minutes right before you roll out the door to go to work. It's just real quick. All right. So once you get done with that, the next thing I was working on was the hold portion. You can use either, you know, an old can or an old bottle, whatever. PVC pipe works real good, the 1.5 inch PVC. You know, because at the end of the day, you can put ends on it, all right, and you can make it heavier. The first thing I started out with, like I said, was the empty oil bottle, and then I moved up to a larger all-purpose cleaner bottle that was empty to start with. And the good thing about this is I can take the end of it off, and then as he got better at it, I just filled it up with water. First I went to half, and then I went to full, just so he gets the weight on getting used to holding it. So anyways, what you want to do is you want to start off and you're going to build up to everything. So what we'll do is we want to work on hold. So we already worked on with our hands. So what we'll do, Gage, here, come on, sit up, good boy, good boy. So all you're going to do is you're going to take your object, whatever it is, and you're just going to roll it. To start off, you're not even going to say anything. You're gonna pry his jaw open, and you're just gonna roll it in there, and say hold, hold, making sure that his jowls aren't pinched on his teeth. You know, hold, hold, good boy. If he goes to spit it out, push it back in, press down on the bottom and top, hold, hold. All right, good boy. Leave it, good boy. All right, and all you're doing there, once he figures that out, that may take you a couple of days. All right. Start out at hold, you know, once he gets 15 seconds, move on, 30 seconds, 45, a minute. Once he hits that minute mark, then, you know, Quinn's got the bigger mouth already because he's older. You can move up to that larger, you know, you can move up to the larger bottle. But then, you know, move up to the larger bottle, empty, you know, go from the 15 seconds, 30, 45, a minute. And then once he hits that minute consistently, and when I'm talking, you know, building up, I'm talking like, you know, your sessions might be that one day is, you know, five or six times only that 15 seconds. And that's all you're going to do for those 4 sessions that day. The next day maybe 30, you know, moving on and so forth. All right. Once he hits that minute mark, move up and then, you know, fill the bottle up, you know, halfway, you know, and then start back at the beginning, 15, 30, 45, a minute. And then fill it all the way up. Start back at the beginning, 15, 30, 45, a minute. All right. And then, you know, some guys will even go all the way up to a friggin' log, all right, just to get the weight in there. But I mean, Quinn's already carried geese back, so you know he's not at the same spot where my dog's at, where he's still little yet, and he's, you know, building up his neck muscles and all that kind of stuff. So it was a big deal for my dog. You know, as I would add more and more weight. So once you have the hold down and he doesn't spit it out, okay, you know, at first you're going to have to stand right next to him to get him to hold it. And then as he's holding it for that minute, you should be able to back off to about here, you know, 10, 15 feet away, and you should be able to tell him to hold, and he should not spit it out, all right? Once you get to that point, I'm going to have to kind of set the camera down here so you can see, hopefully this will be a good angle for you. All right, next thing we're going to do is working on the ear pinch, okay? Now, what I'll do is I'll show you where I'm talking about. All right, with this ear pinch, right where the ear folds, right here, just on the backside, all you're going to do is you're going to take your thumbnail and you're just going to lightly put pressure on it. It's not a lot, you know, he shouldn't be wailing or anything like that. It's just creating a little bit of discomfort, okay? So, all you're going to do, and to start off with, you don't even have to say anything. And he can, you know, you may want to put him on that retaining leash so he can't go anywhere. But all you're going to do, Gage, here, hey, come on, here, sit, good boy. All you're going to do, you're going to lightly pinch that ear. And as soon as he opens his mouth, as soon as it goes in, you just take it away. Don't even say anything. You know, you're not saying fetch or anything. Good boy, hold, good boy. All right, leave it, good boy. You know, and then as soon as it comes out, you're going to pinch that ear. He'll start to reach for it. Do it at his level. Good boy. As soon as that goes in, pressure goes away. All right. Once he gets that down, once he figures that out, that may take him a couple of days. All right. Leave it. Leave it. Good boy. Once he figures that out at his level, okay, then you're going to start down low. All right. Fetch. You know, well, you don't even have to say it. All right. But you saw how he reached for it and he picked it up. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. All right. Leave it. Once you figure that out, you know, he's reaching directly down for it, then I may go, you know, a ways from him. All right. Come away. Pinch his ear. Fetch. Fetch. You'll see that he has to get up and he has to move towards it. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. All right. Leave it. Good boy. Leave it. Good boy. All right. But you're always just going to build up, you know, to the next area. Okay. Just little baby steps. If for whatever reason that you know that it's not working very well for you, okay, don't be afraid to stop and take a step back. All right. Now this next thing, how I'm getting him to pick it up off of the ground. All right. This one here is just kind of a rapid succession of fire. So hopefully you can see here, and I'll show you what we were doing. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tennis ball, okay, heel. All right. And all I'm going to do is I've got my little kibbles in my pocket. You can use dog food, but I prefer to use regular dog treats because they're a little bit more of a high value reward for the dog. All right. So all I'm going to do is I've got my tennis ball. Gage, what's this? What's this? Huh? What's this? You know, get him fired up. What's this? What's this? Huh? What's this? Huh? Good boy. Leave it. Good boy. Fetch. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. So basically, as fast as he can pick it up, fetch, hold, hold, good. Leave it. Good boy. Good boy. Let him get his treat down, drop it again. Good boy. Good boy. Leave it. Good boy. All right. Best thing to do, man, is put like 15 pieces of treat in your pocket. Good boy. Good boy. You know, put 10 to 15 pieces of treat in your pocket, and then as soon as he's done with those 10 to 15 pieces, your session's done. When you're dropping the ball like this, that session may only take you 2 or 3 minutes. It goes really quick. All right. Once we get done with the tennis ball, okay, you can go to a force fetch bumper. Okay, this works as well for the ear pinch when he has to go a distance. All right. So what I may do is I put it down. I don't want to throw it because he's not learning to mark. I'm just teaching him he needs to pick up. Fetch. Good. Heel. Heel. Sit. Hold. Leave it. Good boy. Good boy. Heel. All right. Sit. Good. You know, to start off, all right, you can either start a little, like I like to start a little ways away, all right? So that way he has to go out, and then once he gets used to picking that up, I will actually bring it closer to him because it's forcing him to pick it up directly at his feet. Sit. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Sit. Sit. He's already going for it because he thinks he's back in his training. Fetch. 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 Good boy. Good boy. Hold. Leave it. Biggest thing I can tell you, man, is, and this has been my hardest thing, is you got to be able to do all this training by keeping your mouth shut. All right. You know, one thing I can show him is heel, heel, sit. I can put this down, and all I have to do is point at it, and he knows what I'm talking about. Good boy, good boy. All right. Once he learns, you know, at the beginning, what that hand signal is, all right, then you can start incorporating the word into it, because the dogs don't understand words. You know, they understand tones and, you know, signals. So when I put that down, fetch. Good boy, good boy. And see, with this clicker, sit at any distance, the clicker's not getting louder. There's no inflection change in my voice. It's that same tone every single time. All right. Now, I did all this, you know, in a controlled environment up on the table. All right. But I can do it right down here. We move down to the ground. Fetch. Good boy. Good boy. Leave it. Good boy. All right. I had to do. He's doing really good right now with all this distraction. Okay, because I got the dog. I got Rusty sitting on my couch. I got the TV on in the other room. Stephanie's in there watching TV, and all this stuff is going on. But he's doing really good. I mean, that's the point that he's graduated to now. But when I was starting to do this, I had to do it in a closed. I had to do it in a separate room, completely closed off, door shut, to get all this stuff done. And there were definitely days where I had a lot of setbacks. You know, the other thing, the food is a huge, huge motivator. So what I would do is when I would feed him, you know, get him all amped up because he wants to eat. You know, I would set his food down, and I would not let him have his food until he picked up the bumper, whatever it may be. All right. So that's kind of how I graduated, going from those tiny little bumpers, you know, up to, you know, a docking. So, I mean, he knows what it is. He didn't know, or, you know, what to do to pick it up initially. Heel. Heel. Sit. Good boy. So when he was trying to figure out how to pick it up, I would lay it down, put his food bowl down, and then I would not give him his food until he picked it up. Fetch. And it made him, because it gave him that, good boy, heel. Hold. Hold. Heel. It made him have that extra drive because he wanted to eat real bad. So he did whatever he had to do, you know, with more, leave it, good boy, you know, with more of a sense of urgency to pick that bird up. All right. So right now he's still, you know, he's only 6 months old. So we're working on with the goose right now. He's still trying to figure out how to pick that up. A month ago he couldn't pick this up. But because of that food and every night, I would even make him, because I feed him twice a day, I would make him do it in the morning before I left, and at night before he got fed as well, to make him pick this bird up. All right. He's also got issues of holding the bumper like it's a cigar. He'll hold it by the end. So I clean that up with the that force fetch block because it forces him to grab it in the center. Another thing I'll do if he's having problems grabbing, which I haven't seen Quinn have any issues with it in the pictures I've seen, is here, is I would hold it on both ends so he couldn't grab the ends, and it forced him to grab it in the center. Good, good, hold, good boy, hold, leave it. You know, but like I said, you're just building and building and building, you know, from one day to the next. Like I said, man, this took me probably close to about a month. You know, there was not a ton of pressure. You know, Quinn has got about the same temperament as Gage here does, and if I know Quinn, he's going to pick this stuff up pretty quick. Gage, I only had to do ear pinch with Gage for about 2 or 3 days, and then he picked it up. I don't have to be hard on him, but it's just that constant positive repetition. A dog will do what pays. All right. So basically, that's been my force fetch, and then, you know, if you want to, after that, then you're going to go to the force to pile. So, you know, basically what that entails, you know, is you got your dummy, heel, sit, good, sit. You know, you can put a stack of dummies out there, you know, bird that he has not seen fall, good, dead, good, back, good boy, heel. You know, and that's where he's learning. He's getting ready to run blinds. Leave it. Good boy. All right. So I know you're not really concerned with running blinds, but that's where a lot of this force fetch comes from, or the reasoning behind it. But I think that should help you clear up, a lot with your fetch. And then once you get done with the bumpers and everything, well, actually, I back that up. Don't use bumpers because that little bit of pressure he does get from that ear pinch, you don't want him to associate that negatively with a bumper. So after you're done with the ear pinch, with a piece of PVC or whatever, once you actually get down to the ground and the pressure is off, then you can go back to a bumper. All right, but it's getting that forced habit of you will pick something up when I tell you to do it, regardless of what it is. So hopefully this helps you out a little bit. Hopefully, my instructions aren't too crazy or hard to figure out, but it's pretty simple, man. I'm telling you right now, this little clicker, man, this little $3 is the best $3 you could spend, short of getting a collar and having a collar condition and all that craziness. All right, but if you got any questions, man, just let me know. Hopefully this helps you out.